Всем привет, everyone. My name is Bozos Militaria, and today we are going to be talking about the SSH-40. The SSH-40, also known as the Stальной шлем 40, which means steel helmet 40 in Russian, was the most used helmet by the Red Army in World War II. Not only was it the most used helmet by the Red Army in World War II, it was also the most used helmet by the Soviet Union in all. This particular model of helmet started being produced in 1940 and was produced all the way until 1960. The predecessors of the SSH-40 were the SSH-36 and the SSH-39. The SSH-36 had a different coloration, also a different shape, and just a different design in general. The inside was completely different compared to the SSH-40, and it just looked different in general. I'll put some pictures up here so you guys can see. After the SSH-36 stopped being produced and used, the SSH-39 came into play and started being produced. The SSH-39 had the same outer exterior pot as the SSH-40, which would be coming up next, but it had a different interior. The interior was almost exactly the same as the SSH-36. The liner of the SSH-40, or the interior, was a completely different design from the last two helmets that were produced. It was a much simpler design, it was easier to manufacture, and it also was just sturdier in all. There were 3 sizes to these helmets, 1, 2, and 3, 1 being the smallest and 3 being the largest. I'm a size 59 head, but I also fit in a 60 hat, and I fit in a 1, so you can tell that 3s were pretty large. I've gotten to wear a 3 before, and they are massive. There are 3 pads made out of a synthetic leather or an oil cloth. Here, I'll show you guys a close-up of the inside. See, it's not really leather, it's more of a cloth. And you can see that there is a string holding all 3 of these pieces together that can adjust the height and just how you want the helmet to be on your head. These 3 pads are padded and they're very comfortable. If you've ever worn a World War II German helmet or a World War II American helmet, you will notice the very big difference in how it feels on your head. I would say that the German and the American helmet were a little bit more comfortable than this, but once you get used to how this feels, it's not a problem at all. The chin strap of the SSH-40 was made out of a fabric cotton material, and it was attached to a swiveling bail. I will put some pictures up here because the color of the chin strap varied. There were black ones, blue gray, dark green, khaki. It just depended on the material they were using at the time to make it. The wartime coloration of an SSH-40 was called 4BO. That was the paint color. And if you've ever seen any lighter colors, that is because a lot of SSH-40s were repainted and refurbished and used post-war. And that color is more of a puke green, I would say. I'll put up the color right here. If you've ever seen any original pictures from World War II of the Red Army, you will notice that a lot of men did not wear helmets, and that is because they had the idea that wearing a helmet was a sign of weakness. And a lot of guys wanted to show their strength and dominance and power, and they showed that by not wearing helmets because they just thought that was a sign of weakness. Later in the war, men were ordered to put on their helmets more when they were going into battle, but you would still see men not wearing their helmets all through the war. You will see photos of men wearing their pilotkas, their field caps, or their ushankas under their helmet. Number 1, they wore them because when it was cold out, it was much more warm to wear like something like an ushanka under your helmet and not just your cold metal helmet. Number 2, it was comfortable. Wearing a pilotka under your helmet is actually quite comfortable, and a lot of guys did it. Even in warmer temperatures, men were still seen wearing their pilotkas under their helmets, for comfort mainly. Even in some manuals, men were suggested to wear their pilotkas under their helmets. It was just a big thing in the Red Army. Back to talking about chin straps, you would very rarely see men having their chin straps up on their helmets. I have a couple pictures, but majority of the time they would wear them under their chins when they were wearing their helmets. Unlike other countries such as the US, where they would wear their chin straps on the back of their helmets most of the time, the Red Army almost always wore their chin straps. So guys, that is my video on the SSH-40. I hope you guys got some information out of it. It was just a very basic video. I could go into much more detail on this helmet, but that was just the main stuff. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more like this, and be sure to comment down below anything else you want to see on this channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.